All right, so get this. We're going to be diving into some seriously cool science today. You sent this over, right? Inhibition of IL-11 signaling extends mammalian health span and lifespan. I'm not going to lie, when I saw that title, I was like, okay, we got to talk about this. Inflammation and aging. I mean, isn't that like what everyone's trying to figure out?
Yeah, it's definitely a hot topic. And this paper, it just came out a couple months ago in July, and people are already buzzing about it. I think what has everyone excited is this molecule, IL-11. It's involved in inflammation, and this paper is saying it could be a target for, get this, anti-aging therapies.
Whoa. Okay, so that's what we're looking at today, like zeroing in on this whole IL-11 thing.
Exactly.
So these researchers, they wanted to see if it's doing more than just causing inflammation, right? Like, could it actually be one of the things that's making us age?
Yeah, and it's pretty wild stuff. What they did was they studied IL-11 in mice. And it turns out, just like us, the older the mice get, the more IL-11 they have. But they didn't stop there. They actually blocked this IL-11 activity to see how it would change, like how the mice aged.
Okay, so they're upping the ante here. More IL-11 hanging out as the mice get older, showing up everywhere, their liver, fat, muscle.
So it's not just about where it is, right? It's got to be about what it's doing in those cells, like messing with how the cells work.
Right, like their metabolism and other signs of aging.
So what's the deal with that scientifically? How is it doing all that aging stuff at like the smallest level?
Okay, so think of IL-11. It's kind of like a spark, right?
Yeah.
And it sets off this whole chain reaction. It triggers these other molecules. They've got these crazy names: ERK, AMPK, MTORC1. I know. But these are big players in how our bodies work,
Yeah, like what?
like how cells repair themselves, how our bodies use energy, even how they deal with the nutrients from food.
Okay, so these molecules are already on the scientists' radar for aging, right?
Exactly. They've been studying these for a while.
So then IL-11 is like the ringleader, stirring up trouble, making these other molecules go a little nuts as we age.
That's a great way to put it. So I gotta ask, what happened to the mice when they blocked this ringleader? Like, did things just calm down in their cells? Or was it more dramatic than that?
Oh, it was way more dramatic than just things calming down. Like, get this, blocking IL-11 in these mice, it actually made them live longer.
No way, seriously. How much longer are we talking?
Okay, so some of these mice, they had their lifespan increased by like 20%.
20%. Okay, put that in human years for me. What does that even mean?
So for us, that could be like adding another 15, maybe even 20 years to our lives.
Whoa, that's not just an extra vacation. That's like a whole other chapter. But it's got to be more than just living longer, right? Like you want those extra years to be good years.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what's really cool about this. They weren't just like limping along for longer. These mice were actually doing better for longer, like what they call health span. So they stayed active as they got older. Their metabolism didn't like totally tank. They even kept their muscle strength.
Yeah. It's like they were hitting the gym in their golden years. So they staying fit. Did they mention anything about weight? Because, I mean, that's a big one for a lot of us as we get older, right?
Right. And this is where it gets super interesting. So they found that messing with this IL-11, it actually changed the type of fat in the mice.
Okay. What does that mean, changing the type of fat?
So you know how we've got that good brown fat, the kind that burns calories for energy? And then there's the not so good white fat that likes to store energy.
Yeah, we're all familiar with that one.
Right. Well, they found that blocking IL-11 made it seem like the white fat was acting more like the brown fat. It's called beiging, and it could be huge for managing weight and metabolism as we age.
Beijing. That sounds like a superpower. Sign me up. But, okay, I know what you're going to say. Mice aren't humans, right?
You know me too well. You're totally right. We can't just assume this applies to humans. But, and this is a big but, get this, the researchers found that just like in the mice, IL-11, it goes up in humans as we get older too.
So, not a sure thing, but the fact that we see the same thing in humans, gotta be hopeful about that, right?
Absolutely. Oh, and another thing that's got researchers really excited is that there are actually already some anti-IL-11 therapies out there.
Really? What for?
Yeah, they're looking at them for other health problems. So that means we might be able to test these out for anti-aging way faster because, we've already got a head start on if they're safe and how to use them.
Okay, so while we can't all go ask our doctors for this, like tomorrow, this is definitely something to be hopeful about.
Definitely. Actually, you know what? There's one more thing about this research that I think you'll find pretty fascinating.
Oh, okay, lay it on me. I'm ready for more. All right, hit me with it. What's so fascinating?
So we were talking about those, like the visible signs of aging, right?
Mhm.
Well, they found something really interesting about the mice's fur.
Okay, fur. Now I gotta know more. What about it?
You know how when mice get older, their fur can turn gray, kind of like us? Well, the mice that got that anti-IL-11 treatment, their fur, it kept its color way longer.
Whoa, are you serious? Forget hair dye, right? But really, that just shows you something big is going on, like at the smallest level. If it can even change something you can see, like fur color, makes you think, what else is it changing that we don't even realize?
Yeah, exactly. And, this whole thing kind of brings us back to something we keep coming back to, which is this idea of inflammation being like a big player in aging.
Because it seems like inflammation, it's involved in so many things that go wrong as we get older.
Exactly. Like, we've known for a while now that this chronic inflammation thing, it's like a hallmark of aging, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just like a small thing. It causes a ton of problems, heart disease, arthritis, even Alzheimer's. And I think what's so cool about this research is it's saying maybe we don't have to wait for all those things to pop up. Maybe we can tackle the inflammation first and get ahead of it.
So instead of playing whack-a-mole with every little thing that comes up, we go right for the source. So, big picture time. If this IL-11 is really involved in all these parts of aging, could this be it? Like,
Yeah.
the closest we're going to get to something that fights aging across the board.
I mean, wouldn't that be amazing?
Huh.
And while, it's still a little early to say for sure, just the possibility is super exciting. Think about it. What if there was a treatment that could go after all these different parts of aging, helping us live longer and healthier at the same time?
I mean, that would totally change everything, right? But, even if it doesn't fix everything, this research still feels different. Like, we're not just accepting that aging is going to slow us down. We're
Mhm.
looking for ways to actually stay healthier longer.
You said it. And, I think this also points to something that sometimes gets lost when we talk about living longer, which is it's not just about adding years to our lives. It's about making those years really count.
So well said. So we've gone deep on this whole IL-11 thing, learned a lot. What's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from all this?
I think the biggest thing to remember is how powerful curiosity is.
Yeah.
Like this research, it's just one piece of a huge puzzle, but it shows just how much progress we're making in figuring out this whole aging thing. And who knows what other crazy discoveries are out there. We just got to keep looking.
Absolutely. We're living in some pretty amazing times. So to everyone listening, we hope this deep dive fired up your curiosity and that you're feeling empowered to really take charge of your health and well-being. Remember, the more we know about how our bodies age, the better decisions we can make to live longer, healthier, more awesome lives.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Been great digging into this with you.
All my pleasure. Until next time, keep those brains buzzing, keep those questions coming, and never lose that sense of wonder about the world, especially the world of science. And hey, maybe thanks to discoveries just like this one, we'll all be living those longer, healthier lives we keep talking about.